Surrounded by. I am surrounded by.
I'm often surrounded by.
The entire system is surrounded by
Freaking idiots.
Surrounded by them.
Idiots.
Today we are here with the talented writer and stand-up comedian, currently a writer on the FXX show. Dave has 2 comedy specials on YouTube, Household Name and Girls Don't Twerk to Jokes. And I'm a big fan, man.
Oh, thank
Niles
you, bro.
Abston. What's good, brother?
Man, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
No, hell
I
yeah,
love
man.
to talk, so
No, I can tell by your tweets.
I love to talk. That's all. I tell everybody all the time. It's like I'm a professional talker. Like,
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
That's what. So is that where comedy came from and everything?
Yeah,
else?
I just never shut the fuck up as a kid. And so whenever somebody told me I should try stand up, I was like, I don't know, because like I was a big fan of comedy growing up. Like,
Okay.
Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Cat Williams, Wanda Sykes, like Chappelle, Rock, all that. So I just thought they were up there. Those are the funniest people in the world, and they're up there just saying funny shit.
Right.
You know, I didn't
Right.
know you go to open mics and you go practice at bars and you write a set and all that. I just thought they was just up there being funny. I'm from Mississippi. I don't know anybody. Like all the stuff I'm doing, I don't know anyone personally that does any of this.
Man, Mississippi, hell
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
Nobody where I'm from does any, like, you know, like you were in a TV show as a kid. Like nobody where I was from was going to do auditions as a kid or any of this type of stuff. Like we didn't even have a theater program at my school.
Right.
So it's just
Right.
like doing stand-up comedy was like, what? You can just do that? I thought they
Yeah.
just picked you because you were funny. And so, yeah, when I just started doing it, I was like, oh, this is just talking, you know? And
Right.
I just got to be funny when I talk.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy. You know what? I've had a couple other stand-up comedians on, and that's what they say. They say
Yeah.
they first time they encounter, like even Comic View, all that kind of stuff. They're like, "Yeah, I thought these guys were just talking. Like I thought these niggas was just funny." Like, and
Exactly.
then they find out that like, no, you have to curate a set. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So was writing first, or when did you? I mean, shit, coming from Mississippi, when did you realize like,
Yeah.
hold on?
Well, I wanted to write. When I was a kid, I remember this. I remember the day. I was like 5 or 6. I told my mom I wanted to write and make movies. And she was just like, oh, okay. Like, she just kind of brushed it off because it was like, I don't know how you going to do that, nigga. So, like, cool.
Best of luck.
But I never, it was nothing I ever pursued or anything. And then I was in college. I was an athlete. I ran track.
Okay.
And I got hurt. I hurt my hip pretty bad. And so I had to get hip surgery at 19 years old. And my hip just wouldn't heal the way it was supposed to. So I was just, there was no point in running. It was like, I can't run like I used to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got all these African kids on the team.
Burning your ass.
Bro, I was one of the top fastest high school kids in Mississippi. And then when I went to run college track, when them niggas came overseas, I was like, oh, bro, it's another level.
Whole different level.
These African kids, these African dudes is something else.
Nigga, you running for fun. They running for their life.
Bro,
Literally,
like, I
though.
mean, dog, they was just like, yeah, man. Like, they would always tell me, like, in Zimbabwe, Nigeria, where they from, it's just as different, bro. We run all the time, bro. Like, I was like, yeah. I was running for fun. Like,
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. Like, also, them being over here, some on
That's the other thing.
scholarships. Like,
Dog,
come
they,
on, bro.
they had a different kind of motivation.
Yeah.
And I feel that way when I moved here, when I see people that are like, actually, like they're from LA or they're like grew up in Hollywood or their parents pay for everything out here. It's like the type of grind is not the same as somebody that comes out here from like the South or the Midwest or whatever. It's just different because it's just like, I don't want to go back home. That's why I work so hard. People are always like, why are you doing so much? I don't want to go back to Mississippi, bro.
Yeah.
You know how bad it is over there?
Yeah. What is the experience like growing up as a young black male in Mississippi?
Nigga, you know.
No, I mean,
They didn't make every movie and story, and the reason you asked that question is because you know how bad it
yeah,
is.
I know, but I don't know. I don't know anybody from Mississippi. Maybe you like, it ain't as crazy as you think it is.
I mean,
Or is it?
it's that and that. Like, this is why I love Donald Glover's show Atlanta so much. The Atlanta shows in a surreal, funny way how being black in the South is super chill and fun and cool, but at any point the switch could flip and it's not good.
Got you.
Like, I'll tell you a story. High school, my senior year of high school, me and some friends were doing dual enrollment where we would get out early and we would take a class at a community college.
Right.
And so we were running late, and basically we all had to go to the bathroom. So we went and took a piss behind this huge tree or whatever. And this lady saw us back there and like started yelling at us. And so we didn't think anything of it. And we just went to our class. So we're walking back across the parking lot to our class. And we're like walking to the car. And I was looking down at my phone. And I felt something tap my leg. And I look up. It's a police car. They tapped, like the cop car got so close to me, it tapped me. And then another cop car comes from the right. And another cop car comes from the left. And my 3 homies I was with were all white. So they're standing off to the side like, what's going on? They're like, yo, Niles, look up. And I look up and all these cops just start getting out the car and yelling at me. And they're like, you out here peeing in public and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, what? And like literally the sheriff, like the head sheriff of that county was there because he had a different, like they all had police uniforms on. He just had a white shirt tucked into some pants with a sheriff badge on. So it's like 8 white cops around me for peeing behind a tree, bro. And it's because that lady probably called and said it's a black boy out here, whatever. And so that's why I tell everybody all the time. I don't like when people talk about the South. I definitely think it's some hyperbole. You know what I'm saying? But nah, like, bro, Emmett Till really happened. Yeah. You know, the Jewish guy that came down from the East Coast that got murdered by the Klan, like, that shit really happened. Like, when they were bombing NAACP, that shit really does happen. But it's like, when that shit's not happening, it's a good time, bro. We got fried chicken. We be eating good. Like, you know, we got good music. Like, all the good music comes from the South. Like, so much black culture comes from the South. It's one of the best places in the world. But it is unfortunate that at any point, that real white supremacy, racist bullshit switch can flip at any time where you could just be enjoying your day as a 17-year-old kid and then 8 cops pull up on you because they just heard you were in the area. And it's just like, now what? you know? No, and so it was like, for my friends that was with me, I could tell it kind of fucked them up a little bit because it was just kind of like, why didn't they pull up on us like that? That might have been their first encounter with like when it was like, oh shit, this shit is really different. It was. I could tell about the look on their face. And like that was the same year like Trayvon Martin got murdered and stuff like that. Oh shit. So yeah, it was weird. And like to be 17 and I was probably the most chill about it because they were just like, we're gonna call our parents and we're gonna tell like I don't even think I told my parents what happened. Like my mom asked me like, hey, did the police like do something to you? And I was like, yeah, it was like a whole thing, like, because it was just kind of like when you're black, like stuff, you just know stuff like that is gonna happen. Yeah, no. So if you make it out safely, then that was a W, and I don't feel like talking about it anymore. Facts. So yeah, Mississippi's cool, but that shit can happen too. Yeah, no, I believe it. I mean, trust me, I've had encounters like that, not only out here, but also. And that's the thing, it can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere, but I know the South is, the South's a little bit different because if you're not. The South also is, I lived in Atlanta for a little bit. And it's, if you're not in your zones. Right. Then things can get a little. Yeah, if you go to a certain part of Georgia out off the 85, you probably, you want a group of people with you. A group. You know what I'm saying? A vast group. I always say, like, the South is a great place. You just need to know your role. Yeah, there you go. Know your role. But stay in your lane. Which is one of the nice things why when the South is a good time, it's a good time because people know to stay in their fucking lane. Whereas, you get cities like LA, New York, people want to be in everybody's business. It's not like when I moved here, bro, I was just like, why are people so nosy? Yeah. Like the amount of questions they get asked and talking to people you don't know, I was like, that don't happen where I'm from. Well, because everybody feels like they're going to network. Everybody feels like they're gonna. What do you do? So this could be the person that could change my life. Exactly. This could be the person that give me the opportunity. And yeah, Mississippi, nobody can help you, bro. It's the same in Chicago. Like I noticed living out here for so long. Like back in Chicago, like when I go back out, dude, like the little walk past people downtown, give them a head nod, and it's like no, like they're like I'm looking straight. I'm not looking at the black guy. I'm looking straight because it's dangerous out here. But also you start realizing, right. None of these people are like do anything that's gonna move a needle on anything. Whereas in LA, you could just be in a restaurant and like nod at somebody. They're like, "Hey." Charlize Theron became a movie star because a producer was in line behind her at a bank, and she was arguing with the bank teller about something they did wrong. And the way she yelled at them, the producer was like, "Oh, this lady needs to be in movies," and that's. She got casted like that. He just saw this tall, beautiful woman and was like, I love the way she yells in the bank. I'm going to put her in a movie. That doesn't happen in Mississippi. Nigga, that ain't never happened in Mississippi ever. If you yell in a bank, you're going to prison. Like, If I yelled in a bank as a black person, oh, take this nigga to prison and we're gonna take his money too. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, no. But shout out to Charlize Theron. She's she's African. I guess that kind of counts. I don't know.
Oh, she's African?
Yeah, she's from South Africa.
Oh, South Africa.
Yeah.
Like Elon.
That nigga.
What do you think about Elon?
I think he's a dumbass.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, hold
bro.
on, continue.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dude who has created a whole life for himself off his daddy's money, and he pays people to be smart, and he's just the face of everything.
Okay.
I mean, that in itself, I guess, is smart, but it's just like, he's like, did you watch Succession?
Yes.
He's Kendall Roy if Kendall was less smart. Very sensitive, wars like has to respond to everything. You've never built anything on your own. It's off your daddy's money. Like, he just has people around him you can pay to, like, go do this. Like, there's this episode of Succession that I think is amazing, where literally it shows you what privilege is.
Right.
Basically, the whole entire episode, it was in the last season, the whole entire episode is Kendall and Shiv not knowing how to do something, walking into an office and yelling at someone to fucking figure it out.
Yes.
And you know what that person does? They figure it the fuck out because they
Right.
want their money. And that's how things work up at the top. You telling me that's not what Elon does all day? Oh, this is wrong with X. Figure it out or you won't get paid. This is
Right.
wrong with Tesla. Figure
Right.
it out or you won't get paid.
Right.
He's not doing none of that
Yeah,
shit.
but see, then 100%. I can't argue with anything you just said.
Yeah.
But I then look at it too, like, isn't that how all of it works, though?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
it's like, I can't blame him.
He's just he's the most vocal piece of shit that does this.
He's in
There's-
front of the camera.
There's
with it.
lots of billionaires. That's the other thing. Is like, why does he want attention so bad? If I was a billionaire white guy that wasn't a good person, I'm not hosting SNL. My face is not going to be on TV for 2 hours
Well, I
straight.
think he's selling the I'm the lesser of all evils.
Well, he's not doing a good job of it. Because he gets hate that I think there's billionaires that you'll never even know their name that should be getting. That's living on some island somewhere.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
There's like that's what I'm getting at. I feel
Yeah.
like he's in the. If you listen, I've always had this theory. If you make $1 billion or you make some obscene amount of money and
Yeah.
you don't make it from like being an
Entertainment.
athlete,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, entertainment or some way you fell into it,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're probably not the best person.
You're definitely
you
not.
got some shady shit.
You don't save your way into $1 billion.
There you go.
You're exploiting somebody.
You're exploiting someone somewhere
So
somehow.
so it's just like when a entertainer or an athlete does it, you kind of see it as, well, you are the brand or you make the money. Like,
Right.
people aren't gonna hate LeBron as a billionaire. It's just,
Right.
just how it is. You know what I'm saying?
or Tiger.
Or Tiger, because you see LeBron playing 82 games a year. And,
Yeah.
I'm not saying having that much wealth is still, I don't think hoarding wealth is good in any way. But it's just like a billionaire like LeBron, people are gonna be like, okay, well,
Right.
he plays all the time. He's
Yeah.
he's not like, he doesn't have like 1,000 workers doing something and he's not paying them enough
I
money.
see what you're
like
saying.
he's signing a lifelong deal with Nike so they can make commercials with him in it for the rest of his life.
Right.
That's a little different.
Then that's a little different than owning Walmart.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is it still good? I don't know. But
I think the incentive is good.
yeah.
The people it incentivizes to go out and work hard for something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the good of
That's the good of it.
capitalism.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like, why does one human being need to have
'Cause, I mean,
$300 billion?
Right, just right here, there's 4 tents.
Oh, no, I know.
And so like every day I see people living in tents, and I'm just like, a mile away, somebody's in a mansion, like,
Facts.
and that's so
Skid
black
Row.
and it's so black and white and simple, but it's just like that's still not right, and it should be different.
It should. It should.
Especially when you see like movies with $200 million budgets and shit like
See,
that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree. I mean, I was saying this the other day, even when it comes to things like large corporations like Starbucks, McDonald's, any of the stuff.
yeah.
I kind of feel like the problem is we don't shut it off.
Yeah.
But we, like, as a collective, we never just go, you know what, man?
You've made enough money.
Why the fuck does, like, don't get me wrong. I think LeBron James is the fucking man. And I think he's worked his ass off and he should make a lot of money.
That's the GOAT.
But damn, why LeBron make more than every teacher in every district?
That's the thing. I love LeBron, but does he need $1 billion? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I wonder what we're gonna do with athletes as a whole, with the fact that we're paying them so much money.
this is the most money ever.
Where's it gonna? But just where's it gonna go? I've said this before. Like, is it just gonna go?
And that's the thing. Everybody's not gonna build a school like LeBron and have charities. There's gonna be some niggas who be like, bro, I worked hard for this $300 million. I play AAU every day. I tore my ACL for this shit.
And
I bought my
did.
mom a house. I'm going home with my $300 million. I'll see y'all later, bro. And it's just kind of like, I can't really get mad at the nigga for that, but it's just like,
okay, I'm not mad at that nigga if he's saying that.
Mhm.
He's having children. He's raising those children.
yeah,
They're black children.
yeah, you would hope.
which in the
You would-
NBA.
you would hope, yeah.
But and then he's leading the next generation of like black. But
That's a lot of you're doing a lot of you doing a lot of wishing. You wishing a nigga would right now.
I wish a nigga would.
Yeah,
because
you
we
do-
know exactly how that's really going.
Because bro, come on now.
300 million, you can run through that now.
Yeah.
What, like 5 years?
And you might not even run through it. It's just like it's just all for you. And so it's just like
couple houses, baby mamas later.
yeah. And so I'm a very community based person.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because I grew up religious. I'm not religious anymore. But I will say what church and religion does show is everybody's need for community.
I agree.
So like I feel like I've had 3 of the most communal experiences: religion, being an athlete, and being a comedian. Because all 3, you need each other so much, and I think that's why like I'm so communal with stuff. So like church, you all believe in this thing, so you all come together to make you feel better about believing in this thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can believe in this because she believes in it too. And I like her, and we have a good time talking about this. And then now I have a friend outside of this building where I can go eat food with. Our kids can hang out. That's really, like I always tell people, if you got a black grandma, the reason black grandmas want you to love God and go to church so much is because when she was growing up, that was the safest place for community for black folks, especially in the South, bro.
Yeah.
The black church was where we came and had meetings. We came and ate. We came and partied together.
Talked about our politics. Everything.
Martin Luther King would have meetings in the church.
Yeah.
So for black people of a certain age, they associate church with this is where I'm safe. This is where my kids can be safe. And this is where we come to communicate with each other, because outside of this, white people can infiltrate what we're doing. But Sunday is the most segregated day in America. So when I'm at black church, I'm safe. So that's what they've associated with that. Whereas, like, I'm born in 95. I just see churches like, all right, I'm bored with this.
Bunch of old people.
Yeah, just old people yelling at me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so, like, that's religion. It's very communal. You need people to be in the space together. Sports, it's a team.
Team, yeah.
Especially, that's why I love football so much, is because in football, football is like a company, essentially. Every position is a job.
Right.
Some jobs are similar a little bit, but we still do different things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The safety and the quarterback are both very important positions, but they do completely different things.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just like, and also it teaches you that if you're an offensive player, especially if this is more college and NFL, if you're an offensive player, you got to just sit back and be patient and let the defense do what they're supposed to do.
Right. We
and
saw it in the Super Bowl. You literally got to sit and just wait.
I love Patrick Mahomes, favorite football player. Somebody as great as Patrick Mahomes has to sit down and wait for the defense to get him the ball back. And that's life, bro. Like, you have to be able to delegate. Because, like, I have a production company. I just shot a film, and I produce specials. I'm directing a special this weekend. You cannot do everything yourself.
100%.
You have to delegate and trust that you have the best person there for the job, or you have somebody that cares or gives a shit enough to do the job. And that's what, like, football was definitely that, of like, all right, I got to depend on my teammate to do this. Because that's the other thing. If you're a running back, if the right guard's not playing good,
yeah, you're cooked.
You're cooked. And so that it very much is like, you got to build a community and build a team around you that you can trust in certain situations. And if you don't have that, you're going to be stressed out.
Damn.
It's just like, and then with comedy, it's like, I really feel like people of a certain talent level or work ethic and just end up running together. There's like a unwritten rule in comedy of like, when somebody's not that funny because of who they hang out with. Like before, like you be chilling outside the show and you'll see like, oh, you hang with them? Okay.
That makes a lot of sense too. I can see that.
Oh, I know this nigga not funny. I don't even gotta see it. I know who you hang out with.
Right.
and so it's
some guys come up that way too because they'll be just they'll be the most unfunny in a good group.
And that's okay
because that pushes them.
Those are the Rob Schneiders of the world. Rob Schneider is a fucking movie star, bro. And that dude, I'm sorry, dude is not funny to me.
Yeah, he's not funny.
He's not funny, but he was in the right group. Bro knows how to pick some friends.
Adam Sandler's group is the group.
I've always said if I could time travel, I would time travel to the 90s to be Adam Sandler's best friend. Fuck Chris Rock. Let me be your black homie, nigga. If you Adam Sandler's friend, that means you was gonna have a 30-year career, bro.
Easily.
That's how. There's comedians that Rob Schneider and David Spade and like a lot of these guys like, and I do think David Spade is funny, but it's just like there's people funnier than both of them.
Right.
They don't have the careers they have because they aren't 100%. Connected to the right people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that. I think being able to find the right people and connect with the right people is just as important as work ethic and talent.
And honestly, in every aspect of entertainment too, because even on the acting side, like I've realized anything I've been able to create or produce or like it's all because I have like my homie Denzel Whitaker. Like he's like me.
Dude is talented, man.
Yeah, man, listen.
I loved him since Nickelodeon.
See, okay, bro.
All that was my shit,
bro. Exactly. He's
talented,
so talented. And so we just did a film called Brand New, and it's a short. I produced all the music for it, and then he did all the he directed it. He's in it. I'm acting in it.
Let's go.
Chris Lofton's in it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta show it to you. Yeah, we'll watch it. But,
I'll show you mine.
Yeah, hell yeah. That sounded crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, anyway, I know we get so many things done because I know that I can trust like
you develop a language.
If I'm missing a part of the vision, I know he's gonna have it, and vice versa. And it took us years. Like how we knew each other was just we're familiar with each other's work.
Black actor type shit.
Yeah,
we're at
literally
the same stuff,
see each other at auditions, but like kind of just what's good, bro.
Yeah.
And then at some point we were like, yo, we gotta try to, man. Even when I was doing like my rap thing, he directed most of my videos.
Okay,
like, we just really. Yeah, lock in.
That's dope.
How did you find like your people out here that you really...
trial and error, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, and there's no slight to those people. It's just like I'm not making things with the same people I started out with when I first got here. Things happen, things change, people get focused on different stuff, and cool. I learned something from that. But the group I'm with now, man, was like one thing I'm really focused on now is who has the right attitude and who's excited.
Yeah.
And so my homie Christian Banda, somebody you should actually have on this podcast. So talented, bro. He directed my short.
Okay.
He lives out on the East Coast. And so we had been following each other for a while. We didn't know each other.
Okay.
But he was a producer on The Daily Show and Trevor Noah was on there.
Oh, shit.
Segment producer. And I was like, he's doing this as a young guy in his late 20s, like producing for The Daily Show.
It's
like,
different.
How do you get in there? You a black dude with dreads and you telling people what to do on TV? I didn't need to know you, nigga. No, we need to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah.
So basically, I met him. He told me I was doing a show on the New York Comedy Festival in New York last year for Vulture at Union Hall, and he was like, "I'm gonna pull up to the show." So he comes to the show. I did my thing. He was like, "Bro, let's hang out. Let's talk." And so we got a drink at this bar a couple nights later while I was still out there, and he was just asking me like, "Well, what are you working on? What are you doing? I really want to be a part of it because like the Daily Show like." Was going through a lot of transitions. Trevor wasn't there anymore.
Right.
He's looking for the next phase in his career. And so I was saying, like, man, I wrote this like crazy stoner sci-fi movie and it's like too crazy. Like nobody really like gets it. And I wrote it for myself to star in, but I want to figure out how to make part of it or something just to show people like really like how can I trick niggas into reading the script?
Got you.
Because nobody wants to read out here. Nobody wants to read your 90-page script unless they like want to give you money to make it.
Already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do I trick niggas into reading this really fire script that I have? And so he was like, I'm going to read it and let's talk. He reads it. We talk a few months later. He was like, obviously we don't have the money to do the sci-fi horror elements of this. We can do parts of it, why don't we take like the beginning of the movie and make like a 15-minute concept short film of it. So I
Right.
took like the first 20 pages and condensed them down to like 15, 17. And I was like, he came up with the idea. It was a genius idea. He brings on and his friend Eric, who is just like crazy, like director of photography, just wild with the camera. He's done like campaigns for like Burberry and snowboarding videos and this type of shit.
Okay.
And so he usually does documentary.
Uh-huh.
And then he brings on his friend Lindsay, who's our line producer, who's amazing, kept us on point with budget stuff and permits and contracts. Like she killed it. And so Christian brings them together, and I was like, all right, well, I know the comedians. I can get the comedians to come play these roles, right? So we kind of used both each other's network to build this whole team.
As you should.
And so then we hired the crew, mostly out of the East Coast, because we shot the film in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Because that's where he's from. That's where he lives. So like so Christian was able to get us like some like liquor stores for free. We got to use his cousin's house, his mom's house. We like a lot, like pretty much the whole budget went to the actors and the crew. Like our locations, we really like got that shit out the mud, like because Christian's from out there. And so like that's the thing is like a director does that if he's excited about the project and really wants to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I could go and I'll tell this story. It's like there's this director, still a big fan of. I think he's amazing. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but he's like killing it in the sci-fi space. And so like I got in contact with him and I told him like I had this script. I know you would be like fired for it. He was like excited when I told him about it.
Yeah.
But it's just like dude is busy.
Yeah.
He directing big movies and TV shows. It's just like I'm an up and comer. It's just kind of like he didn't have the time to really get back to me, so he just never did. And so when that happened, I was just like, my friends never directed anything before, but that's who I'm gonna go with, cause that's the nigga that's gonna be like, Mom, can we use the house for a week? Yo, cuz I just need the house for 6 hours. I promise you, my friend gonna knock it out in 4 takes.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna be here all day. Hey, this liquor store, I've been coming to you since I was in college, bro. Can we just get a scene behind the liquor store real quick?
Yeah.
Yo, this burger spot that I eat at every week, can we shoot in the parking lot, please? Like, that's who's gonna do stuff like that. Because that's where you're at right now. We don't have a real budget. I had a crowdfund. I had to put a bunch of my own money in. This is my first time putting like a lot of my own money into it. So when people are like, man, you really pushing the films, like, nigga, I don't have nothing else.
I feel you.
When I look at the film, I just see the amount of money that I put into this. I don't see the movie.
That's the product. That's what I spent X amount of dollars on. Yeah.
You was in the wire. That's the dope, nigga.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I gotta sell. I bought a bunch of dope and it's just sitting in my house.
I gotta get this shit
I gotta
off.
get this shit out, bro. I gotta sell this dope now. and so it's just like, I thank God for Christian, man. It's just like that was a guy who is talented in his own right, but maybe didn't have the credits. He doesn't have an agent. He hasn't been on a lot of film sets or whatever or directed, but he excited and is gonna work hard.
Exactly.
That's what I can do.
That's all, bro. That is
We can figure the shots out.
coming from somebody who's been doing this for so long, bro. That is always better because the people who aren't that, who have the names and all that, and if you're not at that level and you don't have that friendship with them, then a lot of times they can start to nickel and dime you. They're not putting forth their biggest effort. It's just some money for them. They're moving on. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, you want people who are engrossed in the project and also who see your vision.
Exactly. Because
navigated
it's just
that.
like, until I'm big enough to be peers with some of these people, that's when I'll be like, hey, let's work together. Let's do this. But until I'm there, like, what's really the point? You know what I'm saying? I know this is going to get done right if I just do it with my team.
And it'll get done faster.
That
Because the waiting around for motherfuckers, bro. That's how I learned how to everything from producing to mixing to fucking this shit to like everything, bro. I learned how to do every job because
now you don't have to wait.
9 times out of 10, I was waiting or being like, oh, maybe this person could. Help's never coming.
No,
help yourself,
dude. I'll never forget.
Like,
I was 21. No, yeah, I was 21, and I was doing this like film program when I first moved out here, and they had like a group of like directors and TV writers and stuff, which usually to come talk to the kids.
Right.
And essentially, it's always a group of white guys that had time, and their stories are never inspiring because literally the story literally comes down to is like, oh, my friend knew this guy or my uncle knew this guy, and I got this internship and then I did this and now I'm making a $15 million movie. It's like, all right, hold on. You moved out here and 2 years later you was directing. Okay, whatever. Fuck your story or whatever. But I want to hear about like how hard it was to do the job. And so like this one guy who's a horror director, and he's like, his favorite quote is, "The cavalry is not coming."
Mm-hmm.
Nick, because I want to write a book one day called "Them Niggas Not Gonna Help You."
Bro,
They're not.
they're not.
And
They're
when they do help you, you're not even gonna need it.
You've
But
already
you'll
made it.
take it though. I'll take the extra help though.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's people reaching out now and that want to do stuff for me and help with this and this and that I necessarily don't even need. Or certain help you do need now just comes because it's like I just want to be a part of something that you're doing.
Right.
But you just got to go do it first.
But you've built to that. And
Exactly.
that's a whole other thing. Like in the beginning, no one wants to help with anything.
No.
Then
And it's also you're in it as an artist, but when you look at it, like I look at myself at 24 doing Girls Don't Twerk the Jokes. Why would somebody want to help me? Don't nobody know you.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's just like to see where I was at, Girls Don't Twerk the Jokes, where I did a no budget comedy special at my friend's house. Literally, the budget went to giving the audience Hennessy for free. That we had a $200 Hennessy budget,
I love it.
and like we shot it on like a friend's like old camera and shit like that. And like we just got the crowd hype. The house was full of people ready to laugh, and we shot that shit. To see me going from that to, I got to my third special I'm about to shoot in New York in June. I got to hand pick the producer I want
Yeah.
that has produced TV. Like we were supposed to have a meeting this morning, but she's producing a TV show and something came up. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, can we meet at 2?" And I was like, "Yes." Like this is who I want. You produce shit so much. Like sometimes meetings that's who you want. Like
Right.
you're doing this shit. So yeah, go do your thing. We'll talk later. Like that's who I want. That's like battle tested. She's produced some of the biggest comedy specials and TV and all this type of stuff.
Right.
And so it's just like to be at 29 with her. When at 24, I remember just being at the homie's crib like, oh shit, we about to do this. All right.
Exactly.
It's crazy in 5 years too. So it's like, it's crazy to think where I'll be at 34. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but it's like, I don't get to her as a producer if I don't just do the first thing.
And that exactly.
And I tell people all the time when I get DMs, like people asking me questions, how do I do this? How do I do that? And like, I headlined at USC
oh, word?
last weekend.
Nice.
And it was fun. I'd never headlined a college before, but literally I was coming back from this comedy festival in Portland, got off the flight. My homie Ben picked me up, and I went to USC to go headline. And like they had some college comedians like open for me
Okay.
before, and so like of course they want to talk my ear off and like ask questions after the show.
Yeah.
And so and I remember being that age, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll do it. But like I was talking to them. And I really think whenever people ask you questions because they've seen what you've done or what you can do, they think you're gonna have this like answer that's like gonna like tie it up in a bow and make them, oh, if I just do that, it's all gonna work out. It's gonna be
Yeah.
quick and all this. And I like when they ask me like, what should I do? And I'm just like, get on stage more. And they're just like looking at me like, what? Like, yeah nigga, get on stage more. Cause like one kid, he was like 19. He'd only been doing comedy for like a few months. And he was like, I felt good about my set. And then I saw you go up and you did 45 minutes of just fire. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, yeah, you don't. You just started. And that's okay. You're 19.
Right.
And so and I remember when I first started stand-up thinking like, oh, somebody gonna take me on the road. Like, no, they not. Are you serious?
I see what you're saying.
But it's just like you're young and you haven't experienced anything yet. And so I didn't want to like shoot down no kids' dreams, but it's just like, no, nigga, this shit is hard.
Yeah. I mean,
And
no one wants to hear
the work part of it.
Think of how everything that we buy, everything that we like, everything we enjoy is ease of use, easy. That is what people want to hear. So they want to hear even the stories that we watch. Like you said, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. I did this. I was struggling. And then next year I got a television show. And then next year, you're like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
How did this don't add up? Like
Right.
this. Yeah, people want that. They don't want the like extended, oh yeah, for like 2 years I just ate canned beans.
Bro.
Like they don't want that.
Nobody wants to hear the story
Nobody-
about how
no.
I lived in my car out here for a year. In fact, that street right there, I remember taking a nap in my car before a show.
Damn.
Literally that street. I walked down, I looked, I was like, I slept on that street.
Wow.
And it's but nobody wants to hear how I would cry in my car at night and shit.
Yeah.
Cause that sucks.
Yeah.
That's sad. They just want to know, damn nigga, how you headline in Portland and then you headline in Chicago and all this.
That's all they see.
Yeah, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, bro, it's art, and it also is just like there's so much art out there. What makes you special to where somebody should just hand you a blank check and be like,
right,
do whatever you want to do? There's millions of videos on my phone. What about you makes me want to click it, follow, and be a fan of you? You know what I'm saying?
No, facts.
No, you're not. Like, I always say this: no one's special, and everyone's a genius. I think everybody in this world has an idea that's a genius, but are you gonna actually go do it?
Execute it? No,
You're not.
And then the worst part is everybody has one idea. Maybe that's the fifth one you try to execute on.
That's the thing. My best idea, I'm nowhere even in the stratosphere of being able to do yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
you haven't seen enough.
I haven't seen enough. I don't have the resources to do it, and I don't know the people that could help me do it. But I know when I do it, oh my God, it's not gonna be fair. Like niggas is gonna be mad.
No, I already know.
And the thing is, do I just sit around and be like, man, I don't have $100 million to go do this.
No.
I don't know Denzel Washington. I can't do this thing. Or do I just build up and keep building up to one day, hey, Niles, Denzel Washington wants to talk to you. Oh, for real? Oh, shit. I think I can do this idea now. And that sounds insane to say, but it's just like, that's how I see myself.
Well, yeah, you gotta take the steps.
Yeah.
You're not gonna just walk out the house and just end up in Santa Monica from here. Like, that's not gonna happen.
But
You have
people
to
think
step.
that's just how it works because they be online and they see shit. And so it's just like nobody wants to hear how tough things are. Nobody wants to hear about how things didn't work 5,000 times. Nobody wants to hear about all the shows I did where I lost money and people didn't show up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not fun. And you don't want to go through none of that. And it's just like when somebody asks me like, how do you get better at comedy? How do I go from open mics to doing shows, being on stage?
Yeah.
But then how do I get on stage?
Reps.
It's reps, bro. Like it literally is reps. It's just like the gym, bro. The Rock looks like The Rock for a reason.
Because none of us are willing.
You can
put in
be
that
as
work.
ripped as The Rock if you want to. Do I want to get up at 4 a.m. and work out
Till your hands bleed?
and
No.
then work out again at lunch and then work out again before I go to bed?
And then
fuck no, I don't want to do that.
Eat 6,000, 7,000
And
calories.
that's why I'm a little chubby right now. Because I don't want to do that shit.
I went to the gym today.
Good for you. I didn't. My gym was walking here from my apartment.
Okay. Well, hey, that's how far? How far?
Yeah,
are
I
you?
live in the neighborhood. I'm
Okay.
not far. So
Okay,
it's just like, yeah, I The Rock looks like that because he works like that. So if you getting mad that, man, he gets all these roles, it's like because he realized, oh, there's only like a few people that could play this big muscular dude and have comedic timing. So if I just stay this big muscular handsome guy, I'm gonna get all those roles. And then John Cena will get the ones I don't want to do.
John Cena's your closest competition other than Arnold Schwarzenegger?
And John Cena's great. And it's just like
In
Arnold's
two different lanes.
The Rock realized Arnold's too old.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sylvester Stallone is too old.
Yep.
I can take this whole lane for myself.
And he did.
Kevin Hart, come do this shit. Let's go. And now he the biggest movie star in the world and can't really even act. Because he's strategic.
Yeah, but you know what? He has gotten better. I'll give him
I think so
that.
too.
He's
I think he's
definitely
gotten better. He's not the Rock from Gridiron Gang.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
He's much better.
He's
Much
better.
better.
I enjoyed Jumanji. You know, I had a good time.
He's gotten better, and I feel like
Central Intelligence is a banger.
it's a very good movie.
I love Kevin
especially
Hart.
when he's like fat and singing. It's like,
I love him and Kevin Hart together. I love it.
It's great.
It was the new Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny
Ooh.
DeVito.
We got to talk about something because I got an idea that I've been trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll talk.
it's those two though. And
Really?
that's like
Hey, if you've got something for those two, it's probably gonna get done.
it's like I'm saying it's like an idea I would want to create for those.
Yeah,
two.
that's smart. I mean,
because it would work.
It's like everybody knows these people with money, these studios, these networks, they looking for a safe bet.
Yes,
They're not taking a chance on anything.
because now even same with music though, same with labels. Like no one wants to take a chance because we have tried and true. Like we can look at the phone and see what people like. Plus, we already have your metrics, so we already have all your data.
Yeah.
We know what you like. We see what you like. We should just make that shit.
Exactly.
Opposed to which
I understand from a business point of view, but from an artistic point of view, there's also a thing of there is a thing where I really believe that artists are the ones that have taste. Everyone else is consuming.
Right.
And so you don't know what you need until you see it. If did you know you needed the movie Get Out before you saw it?
No.
Exactly.
Right.
But guess what? No one wanted to make that movie because it's just like, before that, Daniel Kaluuya is not a proven star in America.
Facts.
He's a UK TV star. Nobody knows who this dude is over here.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Peele is not a proven director yet.
No, he's just the funny guy.
He's just the funny nigga from the
and
sketch
Peele.
show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, and then Jason Blum, the dude that produced it, was just kind of like, well, if you can do it for $4 million and we go shoot it in Alabama, we can figure it out. But that's where he had to go do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then that film comes out and that movie took the world over.
It changed film.
It changed everything. I always laugh how like that movie changed shit so much that they were like making so many bad horror movies to just try to make that again.
Facts.
Instead of, let's go find the next woman or man that has the crazy idea we've never seen before. Let's go find them. Fuck making the horror film to try to jump on a train. Let's go make the new genre.
Yeah, but the same lack of creativity that the people who make these decisions don't have, that's why they're not making them.
Exactly.
Right? It's the same lack of creativity a lot of times they have with approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't think outside the box because that's not rewarded as much as thinking within the box.
But it's also, think of being a company that passed on Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Think about that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like,
think of being a label that passed on Kanye West.
craziest story ever, bro.
Like,
this nigga was begging to make his music. Probably the greatest rapper ever was begging to put. That's why I tell people all the time, even if you send something to me and I don't understand it or I don't get it, do not stop what you're doing.
Facts.
Never. I don't care who tells you. Like, I don't care who tells you. Bro, I got an email. It's funny. I literally had just gotten off. I think we had come back from Massachusetts making the film and we had a good time. And I remember getting an email from a company that I had sent the feature script from. And they were just like, oh yeah, we gotta pass on. And I had sent it to them months ago.
Really?
And like they were like, yeah, we have to pass on the script. The sci-fi elements and the normal elements we don't think really align and blah, blah, just dumb notes.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it was like, you don't understand the movie. And I was just laughing because I was just like, bro, I don't need you, nigga. I just made this shit. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like you could be making the thing and people still telling you like, oh, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna. But it's just like for Jordan Peele to go from 2016. Unproven director, he's just a sketch comedian. I'm not gonna give him a budget. To now, companies begging him, can you please make your next movie with us?
Yeah,
please. But every movie you've made has been a box office success. Can you please? Begging 7 years later, getting begged to make a movie. To 7 years ago, can I please make my movie?
Self-starter.
And I tell people it's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time when they ask me, how'd you get here and how'd you do that? And I was like, sometimes I'd be like, I don't even know what's the point of even telling you because you're not gonna do it. If I told you all the steps I had to take and the shit I had to do and the people I had to ask for this and do this and go without food and do all, you're not gonna do it.
Bruh, I literally was talking to somebody else when we were talking about how creatives do this. And I said exactly what you just said. I was like, most of the time, I was like, I don't mind giving game.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
I'll give you game. And like anything I know, now I really enjoy giving game to somebody who I know. Damn, you work your ass off,
go something
bro.
With it.
Do this.
Yeah.
Check this out. Trust me. Try this. It'll work better. That guy for sure. But anyone else, sure, I'll let you know some things I know. There's no chance.
I'm an open book. I'll tell you.
Because you're not going to put it in these hours.
You're not going to do it. And if you do it, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to ask, how can I help? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But I'm not going to do it for you.
No chance. No. I got my own shit I got to work on.
Dog, I'm so busy. Like people, hey, Niles, you want to write this with me? Can you do it? I can't. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm so in what I'm doing. Like we're just, me and my team are like, we're in a really good space of just like, we're being really creative right now and really pulling some cool shit together. Just as far as just like from all mediums, from like music to film to animate. Like we're doing some really cool shit. So it's just like I'm busy with what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even
create-
worried. I'm not
create
even
your own
worried.
bubble.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about what's going on after that.
Yeah.
Oh, you see this drop? Nah, I ain't even know. I'll watch it though. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. You know. But that's how you have to be about it, because like I feel like if you're not this big fan, big nerd about your shit,
Who else
is going to?
Yeah.
That's why the college dropout that's why the college dropout was so good. The nigga was willing to walk through an office, look like an idiot, begging people to play it, because he knew how good it was. He knew
Right.
he knew that, oh, but if I know y'all looking at me crazy, but if y'all play this shit on the radio, if y'all really put this in record stores,
will work.
It will work, and we're gonna go crazy. I promise. I know I know y'all looking at me like I look insane, but I promise you. And so when I tell people, it's like, no, I have this sci-fi movie that I know would be $100 million box office movie. Somebody just has to let me do it. Like, I know it. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like there's things like I've written and I'm like, no, this one is like,
Yeah.
niggas is gonna feel this shit.
Yeah.
Like and that's the thing. I was laughing. I was like, you can't be in a pitch meeting and be like, why should you make this movie? I'm like, because real niggas gonna love it. Like, that's not something you
Niggas
can
gonna
say
feel
in a
this
meeting.
shit.
Niggas gonna feel this shit. Like, a producer doesn't understand that. So it's just like, I know I'm gonna get there. I don't know how long it's gonna take or what's left in the process, but I am proud of myself and my team that we did this step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, like, we've got Roy Wood Jr. attached as an EP. We've got Ronnie Chang attached as an EP.
Fire.
And hopefully even like more big names will be attached to this project. But the only reason that's happening is because we brought a certain quality and hard work to it and kept pushing it like this is the best thing in the world.
Right.
Like, down to like our makeup artists and PAs. Like, 9800, our favorite movie we've ever worked on. I'm gonna tell everybody about this shit.
Right.
And so like everybody on the team is like, no, we know this is a home run. We just need some more help. And so how do you get there? You just keep pushing and you keep whatever little step. Well, okay, we'll submit to this festival. We'll take a meeting with this company. We'll do this, all that type of stuff. Like, I've been hitting up journalists to do press, because like I feel like with anything, like the story about the that clothing line, Amiri.
Yeah.
The dude and his wife that created it, he was like, I put like 30 grand in this clothing line. And then he saw, like, he basically would have friends go to like big fashion stores and be like, hey, do y'all have a Amiri here? Do y'all have it? Like, he would just have like all over the country, all these different stores.
Genius.
And so think, after a month of that, then I'm gonna go hit them up. They're like, yo, then they're like, we've been hearing all about your clothes. Can we see them? Yeah, I got it right here. Boom. Let's put it in the store. Now it's like this huge clothing line. LeBron wears it. All these rappers wear it. And so it's just like with me,
genius.
I've been hitting up journalists that I know and things like that. It's like, hey, can we do some press about the film? I feel like just blasting it out and showing the steals of me being a movie star and showing the article and talking about how genius Christian is and Eric are with their visual work is like, it's going to get people being like, we need to talk to them. I keep seeing this. I keep hearing about it.
Right.
And that's why I post about it all the time. I'm always telling people about it. I'm on here talking about it. 98 Honda.
Yeah.
Get in on one of the biggest sci-fi films of this generation now. Why it's a short film.
Right.
Why not get in on it now? Because the price after it comes out, it's some niggas, don't even look me in my eye, bro. We just made $100 million in the box office. Don't even look at me. Because I was on the phone with you. I was on Zoom with you, and I told you what we was going to do. And you were like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Well,
And then-
best of
And that's cool.
let us know when it.
Because one of my favorite rappers, his name is Lil Russell.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
Dog, bro is dope, man. Like, he's like very
And his
like,
branding and
his
marketing
branding, his
and-
marketing, independent rapper, so cool. And he posted this video that was so funny, and he was like saying all this stuff, like he was talking about like all the labels that told him no or didn't do what he wanted them to do, or he's just like, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You make the story more fun.
You do.
And it's just like because people are gonna be looking at you like, hold on, nigga, you got to watch this and
Yes.
you got to read this, and you let this nigga walk out the office
They don't.
because they don't know,
People don't know.
and that's okay.
And that exactly, because it only refines you. It's not fun in the process.
It's not.
It's fun making the art. It's fun seeing the short wins, the small wins. It's fun, like all that's fun.
Yeah.
But the meat and potatoes of it is not all that fun.
It's not all that fun.
But I just know, just like anything, same like as I've ever done, like it's so much more rewarding.
It's
though.
so much more rewarding,
when
bro.
you see, you're like, I
Yeah.
took
Nothing.
I took something that was like there was nothing there.
There's nothing there.
And then I did this thing, and then I created it, and then I worked out some kinks in it, and I smoothed it out.
It makes you a better artist too.
Yeah.
Because you see what works, what doesn't work. And like I've noticed how actually going out and making the thing has made me like 100 times better writer.
Yeah.
Because now I see how it translates when we're on set. Like, I don't think anybody would actually want to say that. Let's cut that. This might be a little hard to shoot. What if we did it like this? Let me write it like this now.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about that now, whereas I was just writing stuff. So if anything, this has just been great practice. But it's exciting because just like you said, it's like you've done the work to get to the point where you can appreciate those small wins now because you do know what's coming because you've leveled up in your artistry because you know, like there's a point, and I tell the people all this time, you'll know, like when you've gotten to a certain point in your craft, you're like, oh nigga,
that's
I got this.
Yeah.
I like you get to a point where it's like you're not worried about the thing happening. It's just now you're like, okay, well I know the thing's gonna happen because I'm this good at it. Let me make sure I have my whole house in order when I get there.
Yeah.
So now I'm just very much in a space of let me get everything together. Like it's like, oh, if I can have this together by the time I get here or this,
right. I see
it's
what you're saying.
really over with.
Yeah.
Because they gonna think, oh, he got the short film and he's got that, and then I'm gonna pop the trunk and oh, he got all that. Oh my god, you know, and that's where you want to be
for sure.
You don't want to be like, okay, let's make this one little idea. You want to be like, I got all this too.
Yeah, you want to have
everybody come buy from me. I got all of this
after your whatever the thing is that pops, whatever, no matter who you are, what pops you off, you want to have all the shit you worked on up to that and all the stuff you working on after. Nigga, that's just checks for the next.
And it's like
move it while it's hot too.
You're able to put your friends in different positions now, and you're able to create these worlds where somebody that's like young and black that moves to LA, you're able to create a space that I didn't have when I moved out here.
Right.
Now, because like with me, the meetings that I don't get and the jobs I don't get, the people that are going to realize a year or two later, oh my God, that dude was in our office. That nigga was on the Zoom. Now the next young black creative that comes through there that has some ideas that maybe you like makes you remember me, you're gonna be like, no.
They might double take.
And now you creating opportunities for somebody young and black that came from some other place too, because they realize like, damn, I didn't give Maestro this money. I didn't give Niles this money. I'm gonna give this nigga the money because I'm not about to lose out on another one of it. And that's how it's created. Because like when Insecure came out, when Atlanta came out, like more black things got greenlit. It really changed stuff. Like I felt like Issa Rae was creating opportunities for people she didn't even know.
Facts. Yeah.
People were getting money for web series and short films, and people were getting to make stuff because somebody black was on TV doing something dope.
And she was a self-starter.
She was.
Web series, yeah.
Dog, hearing her talk about that web series is crazy. Like, she was like, yeah, we didn't have money for some of this stuff. We just put shit out. We just did it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what? She's so talented. I definitely think she could have made Insecure without doing Awkward Black Girl, right?
Right.
But doing Awkward Black Girl first, she probably learned certain things that she would have never known.
It was school.
Going into it. And so it's just like, don't be discouraged because you're doing the low res version of what you really want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I wish we could have just got a budget and go make this dope sci-fi movie, but it's like, nah, we gotta go shoot this 15-minute version in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's gonna be hard, but it's just like, I got to make something.
Yeah, and it makes you more creative because of
much more creative
because of the constraints, and when you do get the budget that you want, then you also know how to allocate it correctly. You know, opposed to somebody, it's just like in life, you know, if you get a large sum of money and you ain't never had no money, that shit's gonna be gone.
Yeah, man. I'm very happy for all the things I've learned over these last few years, because like I know when I do get it, I know exactly where it's gonna go, and I know it's gonna work because I've done it on this like low version of it. And so I'm just like, even with just like, I think stand up really taught me that, because it's just like all you need is a microphone.
Right.
And a few people, you know what I'm saying? And like anybody that knows me, I perform the same if there's 3 people in the room and if there's 300.
As you should too.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna be ready for 300 if you don't.
Perform for
If
them
you, if
three.
you can't kill it in front of 3 people, you're not going. If not going to in front of 300, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta be ready for that shit. And so it's like with me, I want to be ready every time I'm put in front of something. So that way, when I get there, I'm ready. It's like one of the most simple stories, like in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like David, he hit the lion with the stone. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He defended the lambs from like the different animals and things like that. So when it was time to fight this 10-foot nigga,
I do this.
bro, I can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is a very like simple story from the Bible, but it's very much telling you there are things in life that you need to go through. So when you do get to the giant part of it, you're not gonna be there shaking.
It
'Cause
strengthens you.
We see it, bro. We see it in art. We see people that have a hit song, and you never hear from these people ever again because they can't do it, or there's so much in their head. They're like, I gotta make this hit song. I gotta make this hit song. Instead of just like, I made a hit song, nigga. I'm good.
Right.
Let's go get in the studio and let's just make some shit. And whatever shit that comes out, the people gonna feel it. That's how you.
Because
if you
I'm good.
But if you haven't been putting in work, and if you don't have a certain routine in the studio and a team around you that you know you work with, you don't have that formula. You just know now you got this imposter syndrome. You're just like, I accidentally made a hit and I don't know how to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you made a hit, you should very much feel like I could go do it again because
yeah.
I did it.
But I will say, it comes from, like you just said, time. Because
Time.
I won't lie, even I remember when I first started making beats, like
Mhm.
I had like a couple, like I almost randomly got a placement on like Justin Bieber and Sean Kingston. I know it's like crazy.
Whoa.
But like in like 09, random, because I knew Sean, and then like I was like, I had been making beats in high school.
Yeah.
That's really when I started, so probably like 15, 16.
Okay.
But like, nah, like this shit was like, there's like a whole video on YouTube of them like singing over the beat, whatever. But it's just crazy because it was like just randomly happened. But at that point,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, I didn't like.
Yeah.
I would like that kind of came together. I didn't know how to do it because I had a lot more beats to fucking make.
Mhm.
I had a lot more school.
And I bet you feel like you're way better at it now than you.
Way better. Well, that
Mhm.
would be the difference of now just being like, oh yeah, I know what needs to be there. I know what
Mhm.
doesn't need to be there. You know, it's a you can't rush time.
No.
You can't rush time. You can't rush hours. You can't rush the process. The process
bro.
of growing.
Mhm.
Is you can't make a plant grow faster. It's not how shit
You just
works.
gotta sit there and wait for it to do
Just
it.
gotta wait.
Yeah.
And but that waiting gives you patience.
Yeah.
Gives you, gives you appreciation
Mm-hmm.
for when you do get the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it also just, like you said, it refines you.
It does.
Yeah.
Cause like even like my agent hit me up the other day, and she was like, when this short film like more people see it, like the bigger idea I was telling you about, she was like, do you want to get so and so on the phone so we can go talk to them about that? And I was like, 2 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, let's go do it. But now I'm just like, nah.
Right.
I actually have another idea that we can make for way smaller that I want to get some practice in while I'm still making a great project.
But
It's a little more contained, a little smaller.
Mhm.
And I know I could probably convince a few finance companies to get me $2 million to make a movie after this, this short. Like I want to do
Right.
something smaller. Let's focus on that. So that way, when I knock that out the park, then the pathway to get to that bigger idea is way bigger now.
And asking for certain money isn't far-fetched.
Because do I think I could do that bigger idea now? Yeah, I definitely think I have all the confidence in the world I could make it happen. But it's like the resources of making it happen and all this type of
that's
stuff.
different. Yeah.
It's just not. It's not. I'm not at the point yet where I can be like, yeah, I have this idea that would take $75 to $100 million to make, and we need a big studio budget and big stars and all this type of stuff. They're gonna be like, no, why would we give you that?
They're gonna be like, yeah, nigga, every movie does.
Yeah. Why would we give you that?
Yeah.
But it's like, I know I want to do that.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to do the thing to make myself the person
Exactly.
that they would be like. Because then it'll be to the point where it's like, now it's 5 places all fighting for, well, we want Niles to do the big idea with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're carving out your space.
Yeah.
Carving out your.
And I think me 2 years, I'm glad I've gone through what I've gone through, especially like with the strike and all this other type of shit. Like I had a TV show in development that got dropped after the strike was over, and then I had a movie that got in development that got dropped after the strike was over. And it happened like weeks back to back. And I'll tell you what, bro, if I wasn't already working on 98 Honda when that happened, dog, that shit would have broke me, bro.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Because it was just like, because I was sad about it and I was upset. You know, I was on the phone talking to my mom like, man, why are these niggas doing this to me? I'm like, the script is great. Like, why would they do this? Like all this type of shit. But then I also felt like, but I have this other thing I've been working on that is mine and whatever. And that
take it from me.
You can't take it from me. And it got me through that type of shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you can't depend on that. And it's
No.
just like, to be real, it's like, it was great. The people I was developing the TV show with, like they could get a show sold. I was excited, all this type of stuff. But to be real, I'm not the guy yet that you could build a TV show around and put a bunch of money into it right now.
Right.
I'm just not. And so, you know, you just got to be real with yourself.
At least you look at yourself like that. I do this as well, but a lot of people tend not to. But you look at yourself just as a tangible product.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, at least I know that I can build this product and refine this product to be, you know, fucking sliced bread.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But until then, I can't be mad like when I walk into an audition and they don't pick me. Because 9 times out of 10, they pick a nigga who looks nothing like me.
Yeah.
And then if they do pick a nigga who looks like me, this is their project.
Right. And this actor, I love him because I was a fan of him when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
But there's 2 roles I've seen him do on TV that I specifically auditioned for that I really thought that I like. Well, the first one I knew I wasn't gonna get, but the second one I thought I was gonna get. And Lionel from Odd Future. Like,
oh yeah.
So I auditioned for that role in The Bear. I never thought I was gonna get that because
Right.
I was just like, oh, this is cool. It's like this new show from The Bear. Hero Muriah was
Yeah.
producing it. I was like, this is a cool script. I'll audition for it. But then he was on Curb recently with Larry David, and I auditioned for that. I was like, man, I really think I can get this role. I'm gonna knock it out the park. I can do it. And he got both of those roles that I wanted. And it's funny, but it's just kind of, I wasn't mad in any way. It's just like, that dude has been in this industry for years now.
Yeah.
Like Odd Future popped off like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's been out here for 12 years.
Think how many people he know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's been on a sketch show. It's like, that's that dude's moment. It's time. It's been time for him to be on a TV show that wins awards and be next to Larry David. Like I'm happy for that. Like he's been, they like he was in that group and they were making really cool shit and stuff. Like they've been out here for over a decade doing it. And then before they popped, who knows what he was already working on and stuff like that. So like to be like, man, why they pick the nigga that's popular over me? Like a lot of times you'll say this shit out loud where it's like,
And that's literally, bro, that's literally why with the socials, everything, I started taking because I was like, look, how many times, real shit, like, how many times am I going to watch a movie and I see they gave it to DC Young Fly? Or how many times am I going to watch something and I see the Drewski? Yeah. How many times am I going to? So it sounds like
you know what the problem is.
I should go figure out how to either have some content or be popular somewhere.
Exactly.
Because if I'm popular somewhere with my acting resume, it'll really make sense for them.
Makes sense.
So I'll make it make sense for them. So I'll
make it make sense.
because I'm not gonna. Because otherwise, I'm sitting here like, but I'm so good.
Because to get mad at a DC or a Drewski is like they put in that work to build that audience.
And they have, and the difference is just like everybody I know in that space, like they have real audience. Like that's their audience. It's not audience who likes the show they're on or that's like, I am here
man.
for Drewski.
For Drewski. Like I want to put Drewski in a movie. You know what
Oh
I'm
no,
saying?
he's, and what I definitely will say about Drewski, he's very talented, like, and like with his sketches and all that, and then also even the stuff I've seen him in on television and stuff. He does a very good job of moving into that world.
Yeah, he's a cool guy too. I've gotten to know him like recently.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, and like realize like he was worked really hard at this shit.
But you can tell he has too much content and he's too good at it for him to just have. Oh, I'm just a funny nigga who just randomly started. Yeah,
the skits he makes is like, no, you've made a lot of these. Like, there's probably he's probably made a bunch to it that didn't even make it.
He probably remaking shit he's already made, but already smart. Now is like, oh no, I know how to do this way better now. Yeah.
And so it's just like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, why they picking them? Why not look at it as like, oh, I see why they picked them.
Okay, let me go approach it.
And like with me, it's just like, I don't really want to do the whole like social media thing, get the millions of followers, because like I don't really want to be an actor. I want to direct.
Right.
And so like,
direct.
That's my end goal. I just want to direct movies, you know. And so I know the people that I know that have made it as directors is because they made something and they showed it to people in their network that could get them to the next level.
Right.
Because when you see quality, you can't deny it. And it's
Very
also there are things getting, like, a lot of things getting made, but there's only so much quality out there. And so when somebody sees it, they're gonna do something. So it's just like, you can say, hey, I have this movie idea and I have this and I want to do this, but if you can just straight up just be like, here's my watch it. Just give me 15 minutes of your time. That's power. That's different. And so I learned from Wes Anderson. He made a short film called Bottle Rocket.
Yep.
It did well at film festivals. He got the money to make the feature film Bottle Rocket.
Yeah.
Damien Chazelle with Whiplash. That short film did great.
That was a short film.
It was a short film. Short film's amazing. It's on YouTube. Dude, he got what's his name? J.K. Simmons to be the teacher in the short.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bro.
Oh.
J.K. Simmons is in the short film.
That's different.
It's different. And so 17-minute short film, it does well at festivals. He gets the money to make Whiplash. And it's just like, you look at it as like a boom, boom, simple thing. Yeah, the steps are simple, but the process and the work between those steps is a lot different. And like one of my favorite independent films of all time, it's called Short Term 12. It's by this Destin Daniel Cretton is the director, and it's the indie film that kind of like rejuvenated Brie Larson's career. And it's Lakeith Stanfield's first movie.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
bro. And so, but here's the thing, Lakeith was in the short film version of this. Like, no one knew who this dude was at all. He was just a dude from Victorville, California.
Wow.
And so this director found Lakeith like on Craigslist or some shit. Yeah, bro. And so like they made this short film. The quality is not even great, but it's like the story is so good. And so somebody saw the short film because he had won. I think the story was he won like that Nichols script contest. And instead of taking that $35,000 and like what most people do is like they just pay rent for a year so they can write, because that's what they want you to do. You made money, like they pay you basically. You're a professional writer now. Right. Now you don't have to worry about bills. Go write. He was like, fuck that. He used that $35,000 and made a short film of a script he already read. He had already wrote.
Wow.
And so he got Lakeith. He was like, it was Lakeith's first role. It was another kid actor that's like big now. It was their first role. Made this short film. Festivals liked it. He gets the money to make the feature film to where he can go get Brie Larson, and Rami Malek is in it.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. And it's an amazing independent film. And he makes this indie movie, and now he's directing Marvel movies, bro. The film, he's directed Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, look, the budget of Shang-Chi to a $1 million indie film.
Yeah, it's very different.
But it's only 8 years. Yeah, and I think he also directed a film Michael B. Jordan was in between all that. That was like a $20-something million film. But he had to go make the super low budget short film and find actors off Craigslist that nobody knew that now is playing fucking Jesus in a movie.
Something else you can't do in Memphis.
Exactly.
Find Lakeith Stanfield on Craigslist.
The dude that starred in Book of Clarence in movie theaters, I found him when he was a kid and put him in a short film.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But it's like magical things like that happen when you just go do it.
Go do it.
And he saw that like all these other writers that won this contest, they're going to go pay some bills off and because they don't want to work their regular job anymore and they'll write. But it's just like, cool, I'll just have another script.
Nah,
I want to make some shit.
Yeah, tangible. Because that's
he was like, he said, I ate microwavable burritos for a whole year because I put all $35,000 into making a movie.
Yep.
And I'm like, you're crazy.
Hey, but look at his life now.
Look at his life now.
Is he?
He's a genius now. He just directed one of the biggest Marvel movies of the new like generation. And I was in a room with this guy because he was telling the story because he was part of this program. He was an alumni of the program I was in. And so that's the other thing is like, listen to people. Go like if I can give any advice of an artist, go research and listen to people that are doing what you want to do. And if I hadn't heard that dude tell that story at 20, I don't know if I have the strategic mind and work ethic that I do now. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
like I got to hear him tell that story of like, we went and made this short and then we made the movie. And then now my whole life is like crazy. Michael B. Jordan is calling me like, hey, can you adapt this book? I want to star in this. And because I met him when he was writing the adaptation of this book that Michael B. Jordan wanted to make a movie of. That's when I met him.
Wow.
And it's like, so that's where he was in his career at that
point.
But I got to hear about
Shit.
that. So that's, you get the call from Michael B. Jordan after you
Yeah.
do that already.
I'm interested to hear, where do you think AI,
Mhm.
like, how do you feel that's going to affect the industry?
Um,
As far as like coming from a writer's perspective, writers, directors.
So I think as far as writing, we're just gonna have to keep like, unfortunately, probably have to keep going on strike to make sure we get the fair contracts and make sure the rule of scripts have to be written by human people. Like I think we're
Right.
to honor that, we're gonna have to keep striking because
It's going to be like an amendment. You
yeah,
always have to.
I always have to. And if that's the fight, then do you want this bad enough or not? That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? We're blessed to be able to write for TV and movies and stuff like that. I'm gonna fight for this shit.
Mhm.
But as far as like administrative things day to day in the industry, is like I love AI for that. Like I've had AI help me create log lines for projects because like with me, my brain is like it's this and it's that and it's that, and I can put that into an AI thing and they're like one sentence. This is what the movie's about.
And you like, oh shit,
Thank you.
yeah.
You know, and so like
Facts.
little administrative things like that, like putting together EPKs, like press packets and like log lines and like different things with editing and stuff like that. I think I think very much like the administrative side of things, I think it is a good thing. Like there are parts of AI, but I think we're so, well, not we, but I think companies are so focused on cutting labor and making money and all this overhead type shit that they're not even looking at where AI actually can be helpful. You know what I'm saying? They're just looking at, oh, if we use an AI, that's 20 jobs we don't have to have no more.
Right.
So that's what they're looking at. But if you really look at it as like as an administrative tool and a helpful thing,
A tool,
I think it can
yeah.
help so much. I think it can like relieve stress of just like making schedules for set and like making sure everything typos and all this like there's so much shit that AI really can help, and I've used it for certain things, but like the actual writing and like actual like directing projects, like that needs to be people, obviously.
Yeah.
Because one dude, he like posted this trailer he made through AI on the internet. And he was like, movies are going to be over if I can do this in 15 minutes. And it's like, nigga, it looks like you made this in 15 minutes. Like, it was like, it looked like clip art, bro. It was like dolphins were like flying in the air and like he was like flying. It was terrible. And like niggas on Twitter just like roasted the fuck out of him.
I believe it.
They were like, nigga, I think you made this in 5 minutes. I think 15 is a lie. So it's just like, there is definitely people who I think are scared to be artists that are trying to make stuff through AI. Because because that's the thing. When you put something in an AI model to create it, you know it's going to look like this and this because you typed it in or whatever. But when you go create it yourself, there's the human failure error thing of like, I don't know if this is going to work. So
that shit might look like nothing.
Exactly. So if you're somebody that's like too scared to actually do art and stuff like that, of course you're gonna be like, AI can do this and this and that. Yeah, because you can.
And not only that, you have no frame of reference. Like, it's easy for people to say, oh, all you got to do is, okay, then go do it.
Then go do it. And also, AI in the art space, I don't think is right because AI can only create things from something that's already existed.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, man,
It's taking
then all these things
ideas.
you're taking, then that means if you make an AI project, it should work like music. You gotta throw Scorsese some money for a sampling. You gotta Coppola,
Right.
Spike Lee, all these people. You're literally stealing all their shit to throw in a blender to. Nah, you gotta throw Spike 5% of that. You gotta throw John Singleton 10% of that.
Right,
You gotta
hell
throw
yeah.
Wes Anderson 15% because of the symmetry of the thing. You stole that from a Wes Anderson movie and you put it into AI. So yeah, do it, but your whole budget gonna go to paying all the innovators that created the stuff in real life that your AI has to pull from because you have no vision. So AI,
I wonder if the laws are gonna end up.
they're gonna have to, bro.
because they should. They should.
These directors worked hard on those movies and made all that money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or even script writing. The people who write the scripts. Like,
That's what I'm
imagine
saying.
write a script with the feel of Casino. And
Exactly.
Like, so you're training it on Casino.
yeah.
Which means-
And then also, I'd look at it from a purpose of like, that's really stopping what we have going of like creating new things and stuff. Because if you always have to go and pull back from something that happened 20 years ago to write the script on AI instead of just hiring somebody that has a new idea,
yeah.
like we're taking 10 steps back. Like Scorsese wrote Casino, so that way somebody growing up will see Casino and be like, I want to make a better movie than that.
right.
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
He says that all the time. He's like, that's why he doesn't really like the whole like Marvel thing. It's like, dude, if you go back, like I've been watching old Scorsese movies, dog. If you haven't seen this film called After Hours, watch it.
After Hours.
1985, bro.
Okay, I got
It feels like you're in a drug trip while watching this movie.
Really?
It's amazing. Like the way it starts, it's like it feels like have you ever like walked into a room because like your family member or your roommate is watching a movie and then you're like, oh, this looks cool, I'm gonna just sit down and watch it, but it's already been on for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's so entertaining, you don't even ask them what's already happened.
I know this artwork.
It's
yeah,
good.
I've never seen it though.
And it's like, but the movie's so entertaining when you walked in that you like, I don't even need to know what happened before, let me just watch it. He made a movie where like the way the movie starts, it feels like you just walked in a room and a movie was already on. I couldn't believe it. And it just never stops. It never lets you stop to ask questions of what's happening. And
it just is.
It just is. And it was just like, AI cannot make that film.
Yeah.
It was just so real, and it felt like, man, if I was a nigga in this situation, I probably would have did that too. Like it's why, like, and the way it moves, like it never really gives you a chance to stop. And like he made that in '85, bro. And I've gone back and I look at all these films he's made in the '80s, and then you look at something like Killers of the Flower Moon now,
yeah,
$200 million budget movie. He should be making that.
Yeah.
Because he was making King of Comedy in '83 and After Hours in '85, like bro, and Goodfellas and Casino.
That's
and
crazy.
It's like, yeah, he should be making the $200 million Oscar darling film that Apple bankrolled. Because this dude has been making movies for 60 years.
He's there. He's
the best. Like,
Yeah.
and I think he keeps creating because he wants to keep like motivating people. Like, hey, somebody come be better than me.
Right.
That's how I look at it. It's just like, that dude's 80 years old making movies still.
That's crazy.
You know, he sees it as like,
and look, with his same crew.
with his same crew. And it's just like, he's just kind of like, somebody come be better than us. And I think if you're watching his career, like, how can you not be inspired and be like, I want to go make a movie better than Scorsese. That's what I want to do.
Cause shit, even if you fail, you made a pretty damn good movie.
That's the thing. If making a movie better than Scorsese is your goal, failing, if you get to right here, nigga, you done made a really good movie.
banger.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the greatest of all. Like, I think he's the greatest director ever.
He really is.
If you look at like longevity and just like career, like,
Yeah.
I
81,
don't think there's
81
anybody
years
better.
old. Born in 1942.
And he's made so many different films, like across genres.
Yeah.
He's done comedy. He's done like the psycho thriller type stuff. He's done the dramas. So
I didn't even realize he's done some of the stuff that he's done.
Exactly.
He's
made
a
movies,
part of a lot of shit
and
too.
he's produced a lot of shit. Like, yeah,
He was in Shark Tale.
exactly. Now you can do random shit like that when you the GOAT,
Man.
you know. But it's just like, that's the dude that made The Departed, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a fucking movie.
but that was like 40 years into doing this shit. He made The Departed 40 years into doing it. And so to look at things to try to speed up, it's like, what movie is 60-year-old me gonna make? I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing the shit I'm coming up with now. Oh, 40 years from now, nigga, when I know what I'm doing, like, oh my God, it's over with. When I find my Leo and my De Niro and all that, man, are you serious? So, but that dude is like, he's been in the trenches. He's made the low budget movies to where it's like, he probably don't even approach a company if it's not like even like $100 million budget or more. why are we even? He's probably like, why are we even doing this if this ain't $100 million?
Right, in that with that in mind, like, oh, I'm just
Yeah.
like it. I'll imagine that too, just like
Creating with no bounds.
no bounds,
Dude, like, have you heard about how Tarantino like gets his movies made? He writes the script. His agent alerts basically all of Hollywood, and it's reverse pitching. They come to him and they pitch how they could make his movie and how they could put the money in and who the actors and all this. They pitch to him what they can do for him.
That's different.
But that guy had to make Reservoir Dogs on a no budget thing. He wrote Reservoir Dogs. He was like, I want to make a heist movie, but I know I can't get the money to make a heist movie, so I'm going to make a low budget movie about what happens after a heist is over. When you don't have anything, you think of genius ideas like that to get you to the big thing that you want to make. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's just like, I'm sure Kill Bill was something he had been wanting to do forever, but I don't have the money to do all these fight sequences and all this type of shit. So it was just like, fuck it. I'll name these dudes after colors and we'll wear suits and I'll be in the movie too because we can't afford all the actors and let's do it. To now, he flies on a private plane to Paris to write a movie because that's where he feels like inspired. I'm like, what? Go write a movie in Paris, and then Paramount, Warner Brothers, Comcast, Universal, they call you and say, we would like to make your movie. How can we help you?
How can we help you?
That's crazy. But
hey,
you can't tell me it's not possible.
Somebody's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler just had a bidding war for this vampire movie. They making nigga vampires.
I heard about that. I'm happy for them.
I'm trying to get an audition.
I'm like, is this gonna be like Vampire in Brooklyn?
I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, the two of them haven't missed yet together. So it's
That's
just like,
true.
Why would they miss now?
I just wonder how you do a good vampire movie.
I don't know, but I think they the niggas that's gonna figure it out.
I hope so.
I don't see somebody giving them $90 million to make a bad movie. I just don't.
Well, you got Michael B. Jordan, so no.
That's what I'm saying.
And you got Ryan Coogler.
Who
so
just
no.
giving? That's what I'm saying, bro. This is how. Who just giving black people $90
Not even
million?
there. You got the two niggas who you would give that to, and maybe Jordan Peele's executive producing.
Exactly. So when I saw that, I was like, oh,
that might
this
be.
movie must
that's
be
a trifecta. Now,
this script must be fire. If they giving a nigga $90 million, they don't do that.
yeah, they don't.
But they've built something where it's just like people gonna come see this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think he's playing twins. Michael B. Jordan's playing twins. When I saw that, I was like, Ryan Coogler, you fucking genius. You knew what women wanted. 2 Michael B. Jordans. This nigga is so smart. He was like, 1 Michael B. Jordan makes this much money from these women.
2.
But 2 Michael B. Jordans? Oh, we about to go crazy. And that's why Warner Brothers said, here you go, my nigga, and $90 million. So it's cool to watch people do it because you know it's possible.
Yeah.
But it's like, you got to make it make sense. You got to get to that point, you know.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's been fun. This was an incredible.
Thank you for having me, bro. This is so fun.
Hell yeah.
It's inspiring.
Like, anytime. And listen,
like seeing all of this, like it's possible. Like I'm looking at you got the light set up and the mic set. Like this shit is possible. I can't wait to get my own like setup like this, bro. Like so thank you for letting me come see.
Hell yeah. And thank you for the interview. And like that's even how I think is just. I want niggas to see what I'm like. That's what motivates me to keep like even when I don't want to do shit. I'd be like, nah, there's other people who could benefit from seeing you do well because maybe they just need an extra push. Because I be watching niggas who just like you said show that it's possible. And I need that extra push. So it's like we supposed to do it for each other. But yeah, man. But
it's facts.
Hit me up when you get the $100 million movie.
Shit,
I want to be. I want an audition for that shit.
Come on.
No, anytime, bro. Hit me up and like
for sure.
I would love to work on something with you.
Let's do it.
So, hell yeah. And we out. Peace.